My name coming out your mouth, then I feel flattered. Cause when they stop talking about you, then you don't matter. Since yay high, young and used to stay fly. Never snitched the rule, a lot of y'all forgot to play by.
Bruce Stewart didn't look like the kind of man who ran a multi-state drug empire. He had no flashy cars, no big house, no stacks of cash out in the open. He moved quietly. He kept his circle small. But in the early 2000s, Bruce Stewart became one of the biggest cocaine traffickers on the East Coast. His operation stretched from Delaware to California and back again. He didn't just sell drugs. He built a pipeline. And when it all came crashing down, it wasn't because he left evidence lying around. It was because the people he trusted started talking. This is the real story of lies, fake names, secret trips, suitcases full of cash, and a criminal empire that looked invisible until the day it wasn't. It started with one connection, a man named Dennis Rawls, living in Los Angeles. Stewart was introduced to Rawls through a mutual friend. Stewart told Rawls he was looking to buy a kilo of cocaine. Rawls said he could get it for $16,000, but sold it to Stewart for $17,000, making a $1,000 profit. That was the first buy. But it didn't stop there. Stewart didn't just want 1 kilo. He wanted more. He brought in another man, Darnell Evans. Together, they worked with Rawls to buy more cocaine. Over time, the purchases increased from 1.5 kilos to 13 kilos per trip. The numbers kept climbing. So did the risk. But Stewart was careful. He never touched the product himself. He didn't fly out to LA with the money. He used couriers, women who would fly across the country carrying suitcases filled with cash one way and kilos of cocaine on the way back. One of those women was Alexis Outlaw. She wasn't just a drug mule. She became a key witness later. According to her, Stewart gave her fake IDs, helped her book flights, and showed her how to hide money in girdles under her clothes. In one trip, she flew to LA with $30,000 in cash stuffed into her waistband. After buying the cocaine, Stewart packaged it in tortilla chip bags with dryer sheets to hide the smell. The cocaine went into Outlaw's suitcase. She flew back to Philadelphia, picked up the bag at baggage claim, and handed it off to Stewart and Evans. She got paid in cash and sometimes in cocaine. Outlaw said she made 7 of these trips, sometimes with Stewart, sometimes with others. Each time, the system stayed the same. Cash hidden on the way out, drugs hidden on the way back. They used hotels near LAX, the Quality Inn, the Doubletree, the Westin. Stewart never used his real name. The phones were prepaid. The plane tickets were bought with cash. The cars were rented under fake names. But even careful people make mistakes. And Stewart made one big one. He trusted too many people. In March 2000, Outlaw was supposed to take another trip. This time, it was big. 2 suitcases full of cash. But Stewart missed the flight. Outlaw went home with the bags. Her house got broken into. The cash, tens of thousands of dollars, was stolen. When she told Stewart, he lost it. He threatened to kill her. She panicked. She ran. And then she flipped. She went to the FBI. That was the moment everything started to fall apart. There are also rumors surrounding Bruce Stewart that go beyond the drug trafficking charges. One of the most persistent involves the disappearance of a man named Damon Emery. Emery vanished from Wilmington, Delaware. in February 1996. He was last seen around 2:30 a.m. after being dropped off near his home. He was never seen again. Some in the community have speculated that Emery had knowledge of drug operations in the area and that Stewart might know what happened to him. These claims have never been proven. No official connection between Stewart and Emery has been established in court or confirmed by law enforcement. But the rumor continues to circulate, adding another layer of mystery to the legacy of Bruce Stewart and the quiet fear he left behind. Outlaw gave the feds everything: names, trips, hotels, flight details. She gave them the entire map. Then came more arrests. 2 more couriers, Tina Johnson and Willisha Robinson, were caught arriving at the Philadelphia airport with bags full of money. DEA agents were waiting. They had been tipped off. Inside the women's purses, $4,000 in cash each. In the suitcases, $66,410. Fake IDs, tickets, claim tags. It all matched. Stewart was at the airport too, waiting at the gate when the flight arrived. Agents saw him gesture to the women. They arrested all 3. That was April 3rd, 2000. Back at the DEA office, Stewart tried to intimidate the women. One said he made throat-slashing gestures, but the real damage was already done. The women flipped too. Now the government had 3 inside witnesses. They could place Stewart at every step of the operation: flights, hotels, money, drugs. Even more came out. Another courier, Shannon Clark, said she flew to LA at Stewart's request. She stayed at the same hotel, saw large amounts of cash being packaged. Records from the Quality Inn backed it up. Car rentals matched the dates. Bank records showed the money. Cell phone records tied everyone together. One phone, bought by Stewart under the name Wally Zaki Bruton, pinged towers between Delaware and California on the same days as the drug runs. Another phone was listed to Brushan Ali Stewart, a fake name. But when Stewart was arrested, he had an ID with that exact name in his wallet. The feds brought a 10-count indictment against Stewart. It included conspiracy to distribute cocaine, possession with intent to distribute, money laundering, and violating the Travel Act. On top of that, he was charged with assaulting federal officers. When the case went to trial, the jury didn't take long. On September 17, 2003, Bruce Stewart was found guilty on all counts. He didn't testify in his own defense. The evidence spoke for itself. After the verdict, Stewart tried to fight back. He filed motions for a new trial. He said the witnesses weren't credible. He said there was no physical cocaine seized, just stories. But the court rejected those arguments. Multiple witnesses said the substance was cocaine. They described its color, texture, packaging, and price. Some were former users. Others had sold before. The court said the testimony was enough. Lab tests weren't required. The judge also rejected Stewart's claims that the prosecutor made false statements. In opening remarks, the prosecutor said Stewart had admitted to being a drug dealer in another case. That statement was never proven at trial, but the judge ruled it didn't affect the outcome. The jury had enough evidence without it. And besides, Stewart had agreed not to bring it up again during trial. In the end, Stewart was sentenced to life in prison. He tried to appeal. He said the government waited too long to indict him. He said the jury shouldn't have been anonymous. He said the witnesses lied, but the appeals court denied every claim. They said the facts were solid. The witnesses were cross-examined. The phone records matched. The money was traced. The jury got it right. Behind all of this, what stands out is how normal it all looked on the surface. Bruce Stewart didn't move like a kingpin. He kept a low profile. He didn't flash. But under that surface was a web of women flying across the country, of cash and cocaine moving in opposite directions, of motel rooms and aliases and prepaid phones. And it worked for a while. Bruce Stewart thought he was invisible. He thought he could keep everything off the books, out of sight. But what he built was fragile. And once the first crack showed, it was only a matter of time before it all came down. Now, Stewart sits behind bars. His couriers testified against him. His phones were seized. His aliases exposed. His empire gone. But what makes this story different isn't just the scale of the drug trade. It's how carefully it was done. No gang shootouts, no street-level turf wars, just suits, hotels, and silence. And yet, in the end, the silence broke.